Hello, and I would like to first ask you to present yourself and the business school that you represent.
Sure, so my name is Anna Pauwels. I'm the recruitment manager for the full-time MBA at EMLYON Business School.
Okay, thanks. I would like to ask you a couple of questions for the admission to your school particularly. The first one is, what kind of questions should applicant ask the business school representative so that they can make a good impression during the interview?
Sure, well I guess the main point is what questions should they not ask, because a lot of information is on the website and most of the questions that are asked are just a repeat of what's on the website. Therefore I strongly advise all participants to read the brochures, read the website, read the information available to you so you don't repeat the same questions to the recruitment manager. Use the recruiters as a resource to be able to give you additional information. So if there's a part of the program you are particularly interested in knowing more, talk to the recruiters about that. They'll be impressed that you already know the program. The recruiters will be very impressed that you've done research about the program, which will also help you in the long run because it shows that you are genuinely interested. Also ask questions about the focus of the school and what sets it apart from other business schools, because a lot of MBAs, if not all MBAs, have very similar core courses. They offer very similar specializations, but every school has something very particular and different about it. So this is your opportunity to be able to know if you are the right fit for the school and if the program is the right fit for you.
Okay, thanks. I think that this is a really valuable advice. Could you please point out some of the common mistakes that the MBA candidates could easily avoid during their application?
The biggest mistake that I find, and I'm actually very surprised that I see this mistake, is the fact that there are spelling mistakes in the essays. So this is something very simple, and I think people write quickly, they don't take the time to check, but do use Microsoft Word and spell check to make sure that there are no spelling mistakes, because this may seem very literal, but when we are reading hundreds of essays and we see that someone makes spelling mistakes, it just shows that you are unprofessional and that you do not check your work.
And would you advise applicants to work with a coach while preparing their application?
For EMLYON Business School, I would not necessarily recommend working with a coach. I would recommend working with the recruitment manager. So there's myself, there's also Jack Marino, who's just joined the team. And our job is to speak with the participants to ensure that you are right for the program as well. We don't want people applying for the program who we think that they won't be happy or that the program won't help them achieve their professional goals. So do work with the recruitment manager. We are there to help you. We are there to ensure that you are right for the program. So we are also free of charge. You don't pay to speak with the recruitment manager. I would not necessarily recommend for you to work with a coach unless you have a particular point that you wish to work with them specifically.
Okay, thank you. What do you pay most attention into the application essay?
We pay most attention to diversity. In our program, we have a very diverse cohort, both in the full-time and the executive MBA. So speaking for the full-time MBA, we have between 30 to 40 students, and for us diversity is number one, not only cultural but also professional. So if you do something out of the ordinary, for example in your spare time, if you DJ or if you are a dog walker, if you have a little business on the side, do talk about it, because in our cohort we want everyone to be different and we want everyone to bring something else to the classroom as well. So do not hold back and tell us all about yourself. We want to know your personality, we are interested in you. And so yes, that's the biggest piece of advice I could give.
Thanks. And a couple of questions about the admission test. How important is the GMAT score for getting into your MBA program?
So we don't have a minimum GMAT score requirement. And for us, as I mentioned before, for us it is very important that you are diverse, that you have a diverse profile. Of course, the GMAT is important to ensure that you'll be able to complete the program. An MBA is a very fast-paced moving, also difficult program where you'll be doing a lot of mathematics, you'll be tested on your verbal as well, which is why the GMAT is important. However, in terms of the score, we look at your full profile. So we look at your background, we look at your educational background, we look at your professional background, we look at your motivations behind doing an MBA, and we add the GMAT with this. So don't panic if you don't score too high, because if you have a fantastic background, we understand that sometimes you may not have time to study or to take the time to really invest in the GMAT. So there's no need to, I guess, panic on that side. Now, we do give GMAT exemptions under some circumstances, and this is decided on by the admissions board. If you have a PhD, you have an automatic exemption, and otherwise the admissions board will review your background and decide whether or not your background merits that you can be exempted from this test.
Which test do you require, the GMAT, the GRE, or some school-specific? Do you have any preferences in some of them?
We accept the GMAT, GRE or Taj exam, which is the equivalent to the GMAT in French.
Okay, so you don't have any preferences about the...
Out of the GMAT, GRE and Taj that we accept, we do prefer the GMAT. However, we do accept the three, therefore you will not be penalised for providing us with a GRE score over a GMAT.
And how does a top test score affect the chances of admission and the scholarship?
Of course, the higher score you have, the more chance you have of admission, and also our highest scholarships are directly linked to the GMAT score. Therefore, if you score between 650 and 690, you will have an excellent scholarship of 30%. If you score over 700 in the GMAT, you'll be eligible for an excellent scholarship of 60%. So it is very closely linked, of course.
Thank you very much for your words, and enjoy today's event.
Thank you.
Thanks.